Всем привет! Меня зовут Галейс Наталья, и сегодня я веду диалог с обаятельным и харизматичным мужчиной, который создавал с нуля сети полезных связей в Канаде, Великобритании, России и Сингапуре. Он проводит более 100 семинаров в год, является преподавателем в Сколково, а также автором книги «Код нетворкинга», президент группы компании Meet Partners, а также заботливый отец и любящий муж Гил Петерсил. И сегодня мы будем вести с ним диалог как с представителем сильного пола, желанным, успешным и влиятельным мужчиной. Я расспрошу его о секретах семейной жизни и поговорим о самом пикантном. Итак, начнем. What is three things that the most important for you in women?
In women or in my woman?
No, in general.
So I gotta be careful today, with what I say, of course. So in general, women have been always, for me, one of the biggest curiosities I've had in life has been about women, because they are the opposite. They're so far away from us. It's a different being, a different communication, different languages. So women for me is beauty. A man is nice. A woman is beautiful because of the way she is, because of the femininity, because of the ability to balance out. At least in my life, a woman has always been able to balance me out. Especially Katya now in my life is the greatest balance I could ever have. I think a woman for me is energy. Women have a huge amount of energy that they don't necessarily always utilize, but I've seen women's energy, whether it's the beautiful leadership energy, whether it's the bitchy energy, whether it's the erotic or the exotic energy. It's all very, very powerful. And women for me is art. I think a woman's the way a woman dresses, the way a woman takes care of herself. To me, this is art. It's like women's hair, makeup, all of that is just making a piece of art a little bit more beautiful. I enjoy that very much.
So it's an inspiration for you.
Very much, yes.
How do you think, where is a single woman should go to meet an interesting man?
It's a great question. So, I have a lot of single women in my life who are friends. They come to my events, they clients of mine. And one of the things I tell all of them is, number one, be ready to be out there. You need to be out. Don't be going to work or, at home every single day. Be ready to allocate time in your life to meet people. And this is not just for a single person. This is generally for people. A woman who is single and who has a desire to be in a relationship must give herself enough opportunities to meet the right man. Personally, I believe that the greatest place to meet a loved one in life is through some sort of a personal growth opportunity, through some sort of an adventure. So depending on what that specific woman like, if it's you, for example, what you personally like in life, a hobby. So if you love mountain climbing and hiking and nature, then try to join some sort of a retreat. Try to join some other groups where you can meet someone who loves the same hobbies. If you love art, then go to some art galleries and appreciate art at least once a week and spend a couple of hours there walking around and read my book about networking and walk up to people. It's okay for a woman to walk up to a man and say hello. I don't think it's the man's job to always walk up to her. And I think personally training, any kind of training seminars, personal development seminars are the greatest place to open up your heart to someone. Because I know a woman wants a man who's willing to open up his heart, to be empathetic, to be sympathetic, to connect to her deepest needs. And the greatest place to do that is at some sort of a training seminar where you're going through the process of opening yourself up and sharing.
Mm-hmm. But if she go and she likes some man, but he doesn't put attention on her, what she should do in this situation?
It's a very,
the secret of
it's a very interesting question. So I think first of all, if someone doesn't give you attention, it's nothing to do with you. It's them. You don't know what's going on with them right now. Maybe they're having a very hard day. Maybe they're going through a stressful week. Maybe they are already in a relationship, so they're not paying attention to women. Maybe they've just come out of a relationship and they're a little bit shy. So there's so many different reasons why it's nothing to do with you, it's them. And this has the same thing not just for relating, but for business as well. If you want to walk up to someone, it's okay to walk up to someone and say hi. Now, I believe this is advice I've given women before. If you see a man that you like, you don't have to say, oh my God, I like him, I want to see him half naked, or I like him, I want to see him, I want to be in a relationship with him. I like him, I'm curious to know what he's like.
What is the best question to ask?
So first of all, have that curiosity mindset. That's the first step. Be curious to know what he's like. Don't be interested necessarily in him in a relationship. Be curious. Who is this person? What is he up to in life? What are his hobbies? What is he doing when he's not at such seminars? So depending on the event that you're at, depending on the situation, if you're in a nightclub, for example, it's one kind of discussion. If you're in an art gallery, it's a different kind of discussion. I find that if you're in a place where you can comment on a piece of art around, you could say, that's a very, very beautiful piece of art. Why did you choose to stand here and appreciate it? And start a conversation about that. Or if there's a speaker that's just on stage, you could say, wow, that speaker is so inspiring to me. Is this the first time you've been seeing him? Or what did you pick up out of today? Start a conversation about the situation. If you're in a nightclub, it's very, very loud music. I'm sorry, I can't give you much advice there. Yeah. I like talking to people. But I guess you could just start dancing with someone and have fun with them.
Yes, okay. And what is your opinion about if men choose a woman for a relationship or just for fun? How he act in this situation? What's the difference?
So it's been almost 10 years since I've been single.
Okay.
So I'm very, very much in love for the last 10 years. So it's a difficult question to answer because I think that things are changing in the world because of phones, because we're so busy, because of social media and all these dating websites. Today it's a lot different. Today, first of all, people judge much faster. People come up with decisions that are usually wrong much, much faster as well. So I think that from a men's point of view, if I like a woman, I would want to see her more often. I would want to call her the next day. If I'm playing a game, then I'll play the whole 2-3 days. I'll wait until I call you back sort of thing, which is something I've never done, but I know many guys who have. They've met you, they liked you, but they played a game. So they waited 2-3 days and only then called you.
Why?
Because it's a weird game that some people play, but women play the same game, so come on. For me, if I liked the woman, I'd call her the next morning. Like, why wait? I like you. I want to see you again the next day. I don't want to wait 2-3 days and come up with these random rules.
Why do you think they wait?
Maybe to create suspense. Maybe to create this position where I'm very popular. I'm very busy. I don't really like you. It's just okay. I'll go out with you. I don't know. Some men are crazy in the head, but it's not just men. It's women as well. Women will play that game. A woman will pick up a guy's name and will not call for a few days. I remember my wife. She didn't call me for a few days. It felt like a very long time. She took my number. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have her number. Oh yeah, no. I was so happy when she called. Wanted to meet her that same day, and we did.
And how did you meet? Or how was your first dating?
So I met Katya at a networking event at a bar, and as I was leaving the bar, I kind of saw this beautiful, beautiful angel sitting by the bar all by herself, and it was really challenging me to walk up to her because back in the days I was shy, and I'm still an introvert today, so walking up to a very beautiful woman at the bar was not something I would usually do. But we looked at each other more than once, and I just had to walk up to her. And our first date was at a place called Simple Pleasures, a very, very beautiful restaurant. Yes. I'm giving you guys some, promotions, Simple Pleasures. I have no idea if it's popular these days, but back then it was a very kind of romantic place for me. So we went there, and it was really wonderful evening. And it was special because we only saw each other 3 times, and then we both went away for 1 month. I went to Canada and she went to Brazil. But it was really special because during that trip, she keeps on reminding me that I was writing her almost every single day.
Oh my God.
And to me, that's a guy that likes you. That's, you know, if a guy writes you, write him back. You know, that if a guy is trying to connect, stay connected, keep the connection going, suggest a meeting. I don't think there's rules to this game. I think you should just kind of trust your intuition and be curious in the other person.
How should a woman behave so that a man realizes that he wants to meet her again?
It's a very, very interesting question. How should a woman behave? So I'm thinking, how should a man behave? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like a man right now, but how should a woman behave? I think she should be, well, again, if a woman is looking for a serious relationship, so she's not just looking for something short term, then she should be authentic and real. Many people out there, both men and women, they fake it. They fake it because they try to impress the other person a little too much. So they sell themselves too much, or they act like, you know, the world is underneath them sometimes. And I think that if you're in a serious position in your life where you're looking for a relationship, it's better to just, you know, talk openly about what you like and what you don't like. There's no need to talk about past relationships. Please don't, ladies. Yeah, ladies make that mistake sometimes where they start talking about, oh, my last relationship was this, or blah, blah, blah. My last boyfriend took me here. We don't care. Please don't talk to us about where your last boyfriend took you. Please don't tell me what your last boyfriend bought you. I don't want to be compared to anyone else. If I'm interested in you, then it's just me and you right now. No one else in the past matters. That's what it should be.
Just the present.
Just present moment, because a guy doesn't want to be compared to other men. There's no need, especially not in the beginning, especially not in the early dates. You know, a year later, sure, you could bring up whenever you want. I think it's also important to discuss kind of the near future. There's no need to discuss long-term future, where you want to live and how many kids you want to have, not in the beginning. But it's interesting, I think, for a man to be inspired by a woman. And again, I'm speaking as a foreigner here. So some of your listeners might be Russians. Keep in mind that I've been living in Russia for 10 years, so I know a little bit about Russian culture and Russian mindset, but I'm speaking as a foreigner here about what I would want. I would want to know about a woman's goals. I'd want to know where you want to go in life. Not where you want to go physically, but where do you want to be in your job, and where do you want to be in your career, and you know, what's your dreams? To me, that's very, very interesting, because I personally find a woman's dream sexy. If you have great dreams, that's sexy. If you just want to follow a man, then that's nice, but it's not as exciting, because some men want a woman to just follow them. Some men just want a woman to be an alternative mother, you know, to them. But I think that most strong men want a woman who's also strong, who has dreams, who has goals, to have a partner in life, no, not just a wife. Like, I know some men who want a woman to stay at home and take care of the kids and take care of the home. I know too many men, like me, I want a woman who's strong, who's a leader, who can have her own business if she wants to. That's amazing. And we can have a nanny take care of the kids in the home, you know, taking care of the house. That's not a problem. And we spend time with the family together. And for me, my wife is my best friend, and she's my wife, and she's the mother of my kids, and only then she's my business partner. And I think that most men want a partner in life, because sometimes life takes you through challenging times. And through challenging times is when, you know, the universe is going to test the relationship. Can you really deal with it when you have no money, when you have challenges, when you have fights? Are you going to stay together? And what's going to keep you together is the joint dreams you have, is the goals that you have.
How to keep warm attraction in a relationship?
So I think that also depends on the length of the relationship. I know that in the first 6 months of a relationship, everything is great and everything is warm, and you know, everything.
But I mean, in 10 years, you already 10 years.
So in 10 years, in our case, for example, so first of all, it's important to identify that we're also in business together. So, you know, Katya and I, we spent a lot of time talking about our visions and our goals and our dreams together, where many other couples spend a lot of time talking about other people. We rarely speak randomly about other people. So this is really, we also don't watch news, and we don't watch random TV shows, and we don't have a TV at home. So we spend a lot of time talking about what we want to build and how we want to serve the world. I think one of the greatest things that a couple could do is they can come up with some fun rules for the relationship, to make sure that, we don't go to bed with a phone in our hands. Like in our family, we don't allow the phone in our bedroom. Phones stay out of the bedroom. So in the morning when the alarm rings, we need to leave the bed and go get the alarm. And when we go to sleep at night, there is no phone in bed. It's just us. And that's important, I think, for a relationship, to keep the relationship going. For me, date nights are very, very important. So we have date nights where we go for a nice dinner, or we create some sort of maybe a spa ritual. We'll go for a massage together, and we'll spend some time, together, just relaxing and feeling that we're taking care of ourselves as well. We have away nights, so we're actually in the same city where we are potentially. We'll leave the nanny with the kids, and we'll go and sleep in a hotel for one night.
And how often are you doing this?
So the date nights every week. The away nights sometimes, 2 times a month is normal. Minimum 1 time a month, but 2 times a month is normal. We could stay awake. We make it romantic. So we make a nice romantic dinner. We have breakfast in the morning together, kind of either in bed or just we go downstairs to the hotel and just enjoy each other's company. And I think what's important is to come up with some rules on what happens during these date nights. So what do you talk about and what do you not talk about? So for us, again, we make an effort we don't talk about others during date night. We talk about our family sometimes, but we talk about us. What do we want? What do we want from each other? How can we help each other more? And we don't have a perfect relationship, but we're always trying to work on the relationship. We're always trying to understand how can we strengthen the energy of the relationship itself. And I think couples in general can always come back to the roots. We're together, we love each other. What else? Do we respect each other? Do we look up to each other? Do we see each other as the mentors even? Like, wow, like it's a role model. I'm inspired by my wife. It's important to be inspired by your partner in life. And I think it's very important to be proud of each other. So to see that the other person is doing great things in their life.
But what do you think is the most important for successful relationship?
The most important, personally, I'm a huge believer in communication. Teaching the world about networking and the art of building relationships for me has become something that I'm always studying. The more I study it, the more I realize that I don't know anything. So I'm like, people think I'm a guru of networking. No, I'm like a 4, maybe 5 on 10 in networking because I've studied it so much. So for me with relationships, especially in loving relationships at home, communication, open communication. So couples disconnect a lot. They disconnect when they go away from each other. They disconnect when they get into a fight. They disconnect every day maybe because they need to go have their own lives. I think open communication and maintaining the connection is super important. So if you get into a fight, come up with some rules where you could leave each other for maybe 5 minutes. Then you have to come back and discuss it. Don't go to sleep in a fight. Don't go to sleep upset with each other. That's a rule that Katya and I have been trying to hold on to this whole time for 10 years, and we're going to hold on to for another 100 years, because going to sleep with each other, you're developing this negative energies at night, and then you'll have bad dreams, and in the morning, it's not healthy for anyone to do that. I think it's also important to not hold on to anything from the past. Some people hold on to things. Some women, ladies,
mostly women.
I think women hold on to fights from the past, at least I have found, more than men. Women are holding on to a negative emotion they might have had from a past fight or something wrong that a guy did. Even though we apologized, maybe more than once, there's no need to hold on to it. It's very difficult for us, and I'm speaking of myself, I'm speaking on behalf of all men. It's challenging for us when a woman holds on to something, and we're discussing this right now, and you suddenly bring up something from the past. That is the worst thing to do, because that creates a disconnection. And I find that as long as you can keep something connected and talk about the now, the present moment, what's going on now, how do we deal with the now, I think that's a very, very powerful formula to keep a connection strong. And from Katya and I, we have this kind of special ritual where we love taking showers together. I think it's very, very special. Don't tell the whole world, this is just our secret. But we've taken thousands and thousands of showers together, like thousands. Like we've been together for 10 years, and out of the 10 years, more than 90% of the showers we have taken have been together. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's been a special thing. We started in the beginning, and in the beginning it was pretty much every day. Now it's not every day because we have a couple of kids, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's just, and we've heard from people who are into water therapy that it's very cleansing for the water. And also you don't have any barriers in front of you. You're in front of your partner, completely naked, completely vulnerable. So you don't have any clothing, you have nothing in between you have no phones, nothing, no distraction. And you could serve each other, you can wash each other, you can make it romantic if you want to, but you don't need to make it romantic. You're making it as a service to each other. We're partners. We're taking a shower together, we're saving water.
Yes, also. It's beautiful. Yeah. You said one thing that, because actually I had a questions about 3 things what woman can do the worst thing in a relationship. But the first one you already...
Is disconnect.
Yeah, disconnection.
So the first one is disconnection. The second one I would say is maybe comparing to other men. I think this is also the men should not compare the woman. I think it goes both sides, but don't compare to other men. Never compare to old boyfriends. Never compare to your father. Never. Never, never, never. But just in general, no need to compare. Some women find that they need to compare to other men because it's the way they think will inspire and motivate the men. You know, many women come to me and say, Gil, can you help me? I want to help with our family. Like, I coach a lot of families on this, and you know, my husband is lazy. He doesn't want to move up in life, and he doesn't want to get a better job, or he doesn't want to set up more business. And the way that a woman many times tries to motivate the men is to like, look at that man, he's doing it. Look at this guy, he's doing it. That's not good. It's not the worst, but I don't think it's helping a man feel proud of himself. So first identify why you're proud of him, and then come up with your own dreams. You know, if your guy is here and you're pointing at some guy who's up here, it's not fair. There's no need. Talk to a man who's here and say, what happens if we got here? What do we need to do in order to get here? And then what do we need to do in order to get here? And one of the things you could do that's fun is build relationships with your husband, with other couples that inspire you both. So, you know, what happens many times that the woman will take the men maybe with her to some sort of dinners, but the man doesn't really like any of those people. I think it's important for a couple to have couple friends that they both like. It's not easy, but that's where networking comes in. It's important to find couples that you like. And I think this is, again, both men and women don't want to be criticized, but I know many men find it difficult when they come home after a long day at work, or they come home after a long day of business, whatever they're doing during the day, and a woman criticizes them. As men, we want to be heroes for women. We want to be not just the providers for the family, but we want to be your hero. We want to do everything we can to make you happy, like everything. We want to take sadness away from you. We want to take pain away from you. We want to keep you safe. But we're humans. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have tough times. Some men don't know how to be vulnerable, so some men will fuck up in life and will not know how to share that with his woman. I think that's a big mistake. I think it's okay to share with your partner in life that we're going through a difficult time, instead of just being proud, especially the Russian men. Sometimes you're too proud and you don't share with your partner in life. She's not just your wife, but she's your partner in life, that, hey, we're going through difficult times, let's do it together. What's difficult, I think, for some men that I see is they come home after a long day, a woman would criticize them. And why are you not doing enough? And why are you not doing this? And we need this fixed, and we need new this, and we need this for the kids. And the guy maybe is already having a difficult time and he's doing everything he can. He doesn't need to be pushed down even more. And that goes the other way around. Women also don't need to be criticized, you know? But I know that for men it's difficult because in most cases, not all, there's some men who, I'm sorry, are just assholes. They're just not nice. They've not been taught manners. They've not been taught how to be a gentleman. They're not been taught how to be equal partners. Sorry, leave those men, yeah? If a man is not a gentleman, then maybe he needs some training. And I think that it's important to understand what you expect from a man. If a man is like this, Don't expect that from him. That's not fair. It's not who he is. Maybe he has no interest of getting to who you'd like him to be. So many women want men to become something else. Many women want men to become this ideal man. They have a vision for the man.
She wants to change.
And she believes she could change him. In some cases it works. I believe that I know many incredible couples where because they became a couple, the man became stronger. I don't believe it's because she wanted to do it. I believe that together they wanted to grow together. So she grew and he grew with her. I think that's very beautiful. She inspired him to do that. I think that's very beautiful because they changed their frequencies. They changed the way they networked with each other and then the way they networked with others.
Why do you think men cheat?
Why do men cheat? Wow, so there's a lot of videos on YouTube on that. I don't know if I'm the kind of guy that should answer that. Why do men cheat?
What is your opinion?
I don't know. It's a very good question. I don't know. I know some men who cheat. Not many, because I don't talk to men who cheat too much. It's not, I don't think that's an ethical person. Like, why? Sometimes they cheat because maybe they're just unhappy themselves. It has nothing to do with the woman. They're just unhappy. They're unfulfilled with life. I think it's so easy to be happy. It's so easy to be fulfilled with everything you have. And it's nothing to do with the woman in my life. I could be happy every single day with or without my wife next to me. And I think that's so important to be happy. Having an amazing partner in your life is something that should make you like grateful, like, oh my God, thank you for putting this woman in my life. Like, this is amazing. It's a gift from the universe. And remind your woman of that, you know, say thank you. I try to remind my Katya all the time, you know. And I think that's maybe a reason why some men cheat is that they need more. They think they need more. Maybe they want to feel more as a man. Maybe they want to feel more special. Maybe they want to feel more love. Maybe they don't get enough love at home. Sometimes I know men who have cheated, and I've actually spoken to a couple of them during a Tony Robbins Date with Destiny event, where Tony speaks a lot about that, about this balance between men and female, and the feminine energy that some men will have, and then a woman will gain masculine energy, where, you know, if you see a man doing things at home where he doesn't feel like a man. So I'm not saying that a man should not do the dishes and a man should not do the laundry or a man should not clean the house. He can, but I prefer a man who's able to outsource it to a cleaner, not his wife. Invite a cleaner and let them clean the house and do all that. Because there's enough scientific proof that says if a man is doing the laundry in the house and if he's cleaning the house, he's developing his feminine energy, which is not bad if you could do a little bit. Now again, I'm not saying that it's the woman's job to do it, because as a couple, we can decide to outsource it. In our family, we decided to outsource the cleaning and the laundry. I love cooking. Katya loves cooking. I love cooking even more, but we don't have a lot of time, so we've outsourced that to a helper to cook for us as well and for our family. And I think that's okay, because if a man is going to develop his feminine energy, a woman would usually develop her masculine energy, which to balance it out, but that creates a disconnect. And maybe sometimes a man needs to feel like a man, so he'll go maybe somewhere else with a super feminine woman is going to make him feel like a man, even though he's not usually a man. He's actually a very feminine man, you know, but she'll make him feel like a man, and men need that. A man needs to feel like a man. There's a reason why men like to shoot guns and drive big cars, and there's a reason why men like to be men, because thousands and thousands of years ago, we were men. We were the hunters. We were the strong ones. The woman is the one that took care of the house. That's like in our nature inside. Today, as society developed, there's a lot of equality. A woman and a man could do anything they want. There's men who stay at home with the kids. There's women who are, top businesswomen, which is amazing. But there's still the ability to keep the feminine energy in a woman and the masculine energy in a man, and be able to keep that connection, to be able to keep that balance. And again, there's of course relationship where men and men are together, and there's one who's more feminine, there's women and women together, and there's one who's more masculine. That's okay, because it's a couple, there's a balance, there's a plus and a minus. There's a plus and a minus that connects together. If you have a minus and a minus, they're not going to connect together. Plus and a plus don't connect together either. That's the way we work. That's the way science works. So I think a woman could work on her femininity if she wants the men to be more masculine, if she wants the men to stay in the relationship. And I don't think it's the woman's job to make sure the man doesn't cheat. I think it's the relationship, it's both of them that have to work on it. It's very much connected to the pin of our company. You know, Meet Partners has this ideology of synergy where 1 + 1 is equal a third, 3. Because the relationship is more powerful than you and more powerful than me. Because together we're making this third. So if you want this relationship to work, we gotta create this balance. We gotta give to the relation. We gotta invest in the relationship itself. And if one doesn't want the other to disconnect, to cheat, to divorce, then we always gotta work on ourselves. And if the woman can work on herself and the man can work on himself, then you won't have one person cheating. Again, I don't know why some men cheat when they have this incredible women in their homes, but yeah, maybe they're missing something.
They're still looking for happiness, maybe.
Something is missing. I don't really know what it is. It's interesting.
You started to talk about male and female energy. What do you think if women earn more than men? Is it okay?
So in my culture, it's 100% okay. It's 100% okay in my belief systems and the way I grew up. I completely believe that it doesn't really matter. There's a partnership. The partnerships make money for the family. As long as there's equality, there's both of you are happy, both of you are proud of each other, both of you are doing things that you really love, both of you are continuously growing. I think that's important. If a guy is stuck in the same job for 5-7 years and he's earning the exact same thing and he's not interested in growing in life, and this woman here is continuously growing, developing herself, then she has reasons to maybe not be inspired by him. She has reasons maybe to be a little bit demotivated by, hey, I'm earning more and more and more, and I want you to grow. It's not about money, it's about growing in life and being able to provide and being able to raise your standards. Katya and I together, we have been poor together twice. Very poor, almost bankrupt, with no money, where our budgets were like $20 a week, where we still went on vacations, but our vacation budgets for like a day, including the hotel and all the food and all the fun, was like $30, you know. We used to stay at like very simple hotels for like $15 a night, and we were happy. We were happy, and at that stage of my life, she was earning more than me because she was working at a bank and I was like a failing entrepreneur. And we felt this togetherness, you know, and because of those tough times, we were able to grow together as well. Now, I know that we've had friends that where the woman suddenly got a raise in the bank and the man couldn't handle it. He didn't see himself as a man. He didn't see himself as, I'm earning more for the family. Well, I think one, it's an opportunity to talk. You know, you got to talk about that. Like, it's okay. Like, two, maybe the man should ask himself, hey, can I earn more? You know, am I able to? And three, just be open with each other to understand if that's really that important. You know, each couple needs to have their own personal goals in life and the family goals in life. You know, I'm really grateful that Katya and I have a lot of family goals together, a lot of business goals together, so our lives are very much aligned in what we want to achieve. But some couples don't. They have very, very distant goals from personally themselves and some common family goals. So if they have very distant goals and suddenly the woman earns a lot more, that could be challenging for the men. The only way to do that is to talk about it, to have, again, some common goals and to have a belief in each other. And if the guy is just going through a hard time, maybe for a year or two, and the woman really loves him, she should just support him. And she should support him and say, okay, and I remember being in that position where I was thinking of going and get a job. It's about 7 years ago, and I was really not earning almost any money. And Katya said to me, nope, you're a great entrepreneur. Focus on that. You'll make it, you'll make it. And for a few months, I was bringing no money to the family, and she was paying for a lot of things. And you know, that made me just fall in love with her so much more.
One more question, a little bit tricky maybe. What kind of fantasy men have that usually don't talk about?
I like your questions today. Wow. This is interesting. What kind of fantasy do... So I like to talk to my wife about some of my fantasies, and I need to be very careful what fantasies I tell you right now, and if I told her about them. What fantasies do men have? So do men have or do I have? It's different. Let me talk about men, not myself here. Just make it easier for you know, our viewers. So everyone has fantasies. Everybody in the right mind has explored some fantasies. Everyone I think who is watching has watched a little bit of porn. If you haven't, what's wrong with you? A little bit is okay. It's even a little bit, a lot. It's okay. It's normal. It's healthy. It's not, you know, explore these things in life. And I think what happens in the movies, for some people, is fantasies. So the fantasy of, you know, having this naughty teacher in school. I had a really naughty, very sexy teacher when I was a teenager. Really, she was really sexy, and everyone had, all of the boys had these fantasies about her. There is the fantasy, I think that most men have had a fantasy to be in a threesome. Most men, at least once in their life. I think it's quite, again, it's this, I'm a man. Not all have had the opportunity to do it, but have had this fantasy. There is a lot of fantasies out there. This is an interesting question. Again, I'm not talking about my fantasies here, talking about fantasies of men. Other fantasies. I think fantasies are definitely connected to, you know, there's these events where people show up in very, very sexy clothing and wearing masks, so you don't see who the person is. I'd like to go to one of those events one day. If you know any good events, invite me. That's definitely a fantasy, to have a little bit of the unknown, a little bit of the mystery.
And you can do whatever you want.
I don't know about you could do whatever you want. It depends. Again, if you're married, you should have some rules about what you can and what you cannot do. Yeah, there's a lot of fantasies out there. I'd like to explore some more.
Okay, what about your fantasy?
I think everything I've mentioned is on my fantasies as well.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not just random men. I'm talking about my own fantasies here. I'd like to go to one of those parties where people are wearing very sexy clothing in a castle somewhere in Europe and everyone's wearing a mask. Yeah, that's going to be interesting one day. Maybe I'll even be the host of the event, you know, knowing me. Yes. Yeah, I'll get on the microphone.
Maybe you can bring your wife this kind of dating.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, I'll talk to her about that.
Yes, it's a good idea. Yeah. I have one more question from Instagram.
Sure.
Yes, and people know that you are so, like, you have a lot of beautiful women around you. What about jealousy? Is your wife, she's jealous of you?
I think it's an awesome question, and it happens a lot for speakers and celebrities and people who are, you know, in front of audiences a lot. So this is something that Katya and I have discussed early on in our relationship, that when I go to events many times and I'm speaking, there's a lot of very beautiful women that want to hug me, want to thank me, want to take pictures with me. And in the beginning I felt a little bit strange because I kept on telling everyone, no, my wife is there, no, I can't. And then I spoke to Katya and I understood that this is a part of our jobs. We need to do this. This is a part of loving our community and giving service to our community. And taking pictures with beautiful women is great. And taking pictures with really beautiful women is good for my brand as well. Why not? It's not a bad thing. I've discussed it with Katya, and I believe she's not jealous because she knows that I'm not doing anything. She knows that I take pictures with someone, but it's just an innocent picture. And I think that's really important, and it's the same thing with her. I trust Katya a lot. She goes to a lot of events. She's a very, very beautiful woman, and she's, you know, always looking stunning, and a lot of her events have men in there as well. So, and we go and also on separate business trips sometimes, and that's also important to keep that trust, and there's no need for jealousy. I think a little bit of jealousy sometimes is sexy. I think it's kind of cute, you know, so if I'm a little bit jealous of Katya, you know, I'll tell her. I think that's kind of special, you know, like, it says something about the relationship, but it must mean that we must even go even deeper into our connection together. So so we must have like another date night very, very soon. But I see this happening with other couples where there is jealousy. I don't think it's fair, because if you are jealous of your partner who's growing as a star, he's growing on Instagram, he's going on stages, and you show him jealousy, you're actually limiting their growth. You're limiting their abilities to flourish and grow and be out there. They need to keep themselves away from people. They need to keep themselves away from social media. And I know some people who have cut their social media because their partner in life was jealous. So I think it just needs to be an agreement between the two couples. What is allowed, what is not allowed? What is the red line? You know, don't cross the red line. That's it.
But to have an agreement is good. But anyway, women jealous. What they need to do with this? How they need to?
It's a wonderful question. I don't know. I don't know what women should do.
Something inside. It's self-confidence, or she maybe she afraid to lose a man.
I think all of the above. I think that first of all, if a woman is watching this right now and she's thinking, yes, I'm jealous a lot of my men, then one, maybe the man is doing something wrong all the time, and so there's a reason for her to be jealous. Maybe he's always flirting with women, maybe he's like doing something, you know, it's wrong. Maybe he's cheated in the past, so she has reasons. But if he's a good man, and most men are good men, most, not all, most men are very good men, then if a woman is jealous all the time, it's unhealthy. She's never gonna be happy. She's always gonna be thinking what he's doing. Her mind is gonna be somewhere else. Her heart is not gonna be connected with his. It's gonna lead to a divorce. It's gonna lead to so many more fights. It's not gonna lead to harmony in the relationship. So it's better to talk about it and to agree with each other on expectations and what we want from each other and how we feel. It's better to be super open about it, because if the man has cheated in the past and she has reasons to be jealous, then maybe that's not the right relationship, you know. So discuss it. Should you end this relationship because the man is always going to be that way? I don't think you should be okay with it. Personally, if a guy is cheating on you all the time but he's not a nice guy, then I think you should end it, but I'm not a judge, so I can't really tell people what they should do. But I think that jealousy is like a virus. It's a cancer. It's not going to feel good inside. It's unhealthy, and it does come down to personal self-esteem and personal growth. So if a guy, for example, is completely faithful and honest and he's a super nice guy and he's never cheated, and the woman is jealous maybe because he's a very good-looking guy, and maybe he's in the fashion industry and he's surrounded by women all the time, then one, the woman should develop her own self-esteem. So maybe she should come to like your training, for example, and develop her feminine power to grow herself, to be a strong, you know, woman herself, with or without the man. So she doesn't need him, but she wants to be with him. She needs herself. She needs her own power. And I think that's super important, because what's the point of being in a relationship if you're feeling negativity towards each other constantly, if you don't trust each other constantly, if you're always thinking something in the back of your head where you're questioning each other, that does not have a positive pattern. This is not just men and women, this is in business as well. If you don't trust your business partners, things are not gonna end well. Maybe it's gonna take another few months or another few years, but they're not gonna end well. So why not change the present pattern and find harmony and be in a better flow?
I think my question finished, but I have a blitz for you. Are you ready?
I'm always ready. By the way, which camera is the one that's on me?
This one.
That one, thank you. I'm always looking at both.
First question. Monica Bellucci or Kim Kardashian?
Neither one.
Three main parts of the body of a woman.
Lips, eyes, and ass.
Wisdom or sex?
Wisdom.
Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner.
Plastic surgery or naturalness?
Natural.
love with one woman or endless romances always with a new one?
One woman.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Show me what they look like.
You don't know that?
No.
Show. Okay. Wait.
I know that many people love the Kardashians.
Yes.
I have no idea what they look like.
Okay. Do you know Monica Bellucci?
I've heard of her name. I don't know what she looks like.
Yeah, I will show you.
You have a very, very nice special ring.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is Monica Bellucci.
Ah, yes.
She's Italian.
Yes. I know who she is.
Yes.
Okay. But you're asking about her face, her body, characteristic.
Just-
She's an actress,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah. I can show you several pictures of her.
No, I know who she is now. I've seen her in movies.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't, picking one of them, I don't understand.
Okay.
No,
No,
not my style.
not this time.
No, I love. This is a better picture of her.
Yeah, this is.
No, because she's big or small, the side.
She always different.
What do you mean always different? The other picture you showed me, she's very, very big.
Yeah, because I think after pregnancy maybe.
No, but that was too big. That was not after pregnancy.
This is here, so she's very small. Okay, what is your icon? Like, what woman do you like? Maybe some blonde actress? Charlize Theron.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a cool actress. I like her.
Like a woman, do you like her?
But I don't know her. Like, for me, the characteristic is so much more, is very important. Just the looks is not. No, because if there's nothing here, it's not interesting at all. It's not. This is for me. It's like, this is why for me, picking up women in nightclubs was very difficult. Because I like to talk to them.
Yes, you like to talk.
Yes. I want to talk, to listen, to see what's going on, to see who she is, what she, This is for me, very important because for me, I believe the easiest way to get to your heart is through your head. Yeah, I like the.
But anyway, the beauty is important because when you saw,
I think
when
that
you saw
beauty is very important in each person's eyes. So when I see you, I see beauty. Very, very beautiful woman. And that's very, very important to be in a relationship with someone, even as a friend. I think that you must see beauty in this person. That doesn't mean that you need to have only beautiful people around you, but you must see beauty. It's very important. Even on your worst day, when you wake up first thing in the morning, it's important that your friends and your lover sees beauty. So I know what my wife looks like in her best and in her worst. And I see beauty. All these other women, I have no idea what they look like first thing in the morning. Yeah, they might look very bad. I don't know when they're fighting what they look like. So for me, all these women, they're very, very nice in movies. Okay.
I have one more question. When did you understand that Katya, it was she, your destiny?
When did I understand? So very early in the relationship, I felt that she was super special because I very like within that first month that we were kind of talking to each other, I stopped talking to other women. I stopped because before, I'm a man, so we're texting a few women. This Saturday night, Friday night, okay. But very, very early on when talking to her, I stopped talking to anyone else. I don't remember when I knew it was her, because Katya and I, we were dating for 3 years before I proposed. Yeah. And the 4th year we got married. And I remember that in our first vacation, we went to Croatia, and like I felt totally in love with this woman, like completely in love with her. And after a year of going out together, we were in Thailand, and we got into a very, very big fight. It was connected to money, actually. And as a result of that fight, she ended up letting go of her apartment and moving in with me. And you know, so I don't remember exactly the moment where I felt that she was the one for me, but it was kind of its gradual feelings in life, where like I don't want to be away from her. The connection that we have, for me, proximity, being near Katya is very, very important a lot. We speak every single day, even if we're away from each other. Speak every single day. We have these sharing sessions where we have to leave each other voice messages or video messages for a few minutes to share with each other what's happening every single day.
Can you say something? What would you like to say to our women? Maybe some suggestions.
You want me to talk to them?
Yes.
Hi, ladies. What should I say to you? So, I'm thinking what I was saying in the last Women's Day to women out there in the world. Continue to flourish. Continue to be strong women because we need you. Please run for president one day of any country because that would help the world. Please lead companies because you're incredible leaders and organizations. We want to see you in business. I want to have more women business partners. I think you're much stronger than men. Sorry, gentlemen. In this country specifically, you're extremely good as entrepreneurs, and we wish to see more women entrepreneurs leading this whole movement that's taking place. And we thank you for being strong for us and soft at the same time for us. We love touching you very, very much, and we love that you're soft and kind and loving and smiling. It's okay to be bitchy sometimes, but please, you know, balance out the bitchy side and the loving side. That as men, we need the other side as well sometimes. And demand more from your men. It's good to demand more from your men, but do it in a feminine, nice way, not in a bitchy, masculine way. Demand more, which means plan goals together and tell your men your dreams and help set a direction of where the family wants to go or where you personally want to go, and make sure that your men can support you and the family to get there together. Enjoy yourself. We love you.
It's perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.